Respected co-sadhakas, may you all be healthy, long living, and continuing this spiritual sadhana path. Prayers to the Lord and the Gurus for blessing each one of you and us for this. And with our effort, ability, capacity, whatever we are able to do, congratulations for that and gratitudes because you are part of this great endeavor. Salutations to the divine in you. Remember all the 13 Vyaktitvas: Loka Sevaka, Dharma Sthapaka, Viragi, Bhakta, Shishya, Mumukshu, Jignasu, Shrotru, Sadhaka, Parishrami, Prerita, Shant. Then our own Sanskrita Bhasha Pravina, Jagannatha Krupa, Jagadishwara Krupa, Parabrahma Krupa, Devatagana Krupa, Guru Gana Krupa, Shruti Mata Krupa. We can add even using all these things. Swayam Krupa, blessing ourselves also required. Welcome to the study of this Upanishad, Shwethashwathara. Almost we are touching the end of the Sambandha Bhashya. Shankara's effort, we are seeing that he wants to drive the thing into our heart. That Upanishad Vedya, Brahman alone is real, and that Brahma Swarupa is Chaitanya Gnapti Matra, and he is Ekameva Dvayam, and realizing that Brahman as ourselves alone is the moksha hetu, and there is no other way for the moksha. Therefore, everyone who wants to evolve, want to be liberated, should single pointedly pursue only that. This is the idea or purpose behind this lengthy, exhaustive Sambandha Bhashya. And for us to satisfy our intellect's queries, mind's doubts removal, what is required is all that is given through various references, various explanations, various logics, various examples. Throughout, what he has done is to satisfy our intellect and also to sort out the doubts of the mind. So that what was said 2 minutes back, we come to that conviction. Then, from within at the intellectual conviction level, there is no obstruction. When we actually start the study of this Upanishad, otherwise, we have started study of Upanishad, but every level there is a doubt in the mind, the intellect is not happy. So again, it will be lot of obstruction. Like any journey, when everything is well planned and well managed, journey will be smooth. If it is not done, for each and everything, we have to halt, we have to stop. That journey is more English suffering than the Hindi suffer, isn't it? Spirituality में भी ऐसा ही है. Like in some Upanishadic Bhashya, Sadhana Chatushtya Sampada's importance is told. Okay, in some Upanishad, the Guru Mahima is told, Acharyavan, in the Sambandha Bhashya to prepare us. In this Upanishad, intellectually we are prepared with full conviction about the truth which the Upanishad is going to tell. It all shows that, like in Yoga Vasishta also, how vehemently Vasishta Bhagwan is telling about the importance of Paurusha. So these things are so essential that when we are well equipped and prepared, further journey doesn't become so cumbersome or difficult. They are, yeah, all these are intellectual, mental preparations. A very good one. We have seen one round, maybe two more rounds, three more rounds. When we do more consciously, we may get full idea of what Bhagavan Adi Shankara said throughout this Sambandha Bhashyam, and then how pivotal, how necessary, how important it is to push us into the study and sadhana and success of this Upanishad Shwethashwathara. So maybe today, if we try to conclude, or tomorrow, we will start the Upanishad actual. वैसे तो from tomorrow is Chaturmasa Diksha is starting. It's a wonderful thing. 4 months it will be up to November 12. We are taking up in the evening the chanting of Prasthanatraya with Bhashya. Upanishads, Gita, Brahma Sutra, Pura with Bhashya, we do Parayan. 4 months nahi, it may take even little more. Doesn't matter, we keep on doing 10-15 minutes. And before that, our Purana anyway we are doing. Before that, our Shankara Grantha Adhyayana we are doing. Before that, Yoga Vasishta. So, our four lengthy things in the evening, every day, consuming 2 hours of our time. We are fixed in that now for next at least 1 year. हमको क्या करना है पता है बस. Like in the morning also. This Upanishad, then Chandogya, then Vrataharanyaka, Kaivalya. 1-2 साल का यहाँ प्रोग्राम फिक्स्ड है हमारा. By the way, so let us do the study of it. Before that, let us do our sankalpa prarthana. और सबसे पहले, what is the today's common sense thought which can help us, as we are doing every day for 5 minutes, 6 minutes, like that. Today's common sense thought is कि we are under an umbrella of worldliness. Okay, by our own choice, by many other past brought things, by many other outer influences. Now, as long as we are under the umbrella of the worldliness, how can we do the spirituality? Isn't it? We have to deliberately come under the umbrella of the spirituality from the umbrella of the worldliness. This is our conscious effort. Umbrella of the worldliness is guidance of the Shastra, guidance of the Guru, blessings of Bhagavan, knowing it and doing sadhana. This umbrella also is ready. Okay, but we are in this umbrella. Remember, this umbrella of the worldliness is not willing to leave us. It won't leave us. उसका वो choice नहीं है. वो बोलता है तुम यहीं रहो बस. So too, the umbrella of the spirituality doesn't force us. It cannot pull us out of that umbrella jabardasti. है ना? When I am in worldly life, the Shastra will not come to pull me into spirituality by itself. क्योंकि it is decent and इनको जरूरत नहीं है. Decent people do not do jabardasti of anything. So too, Guru will not come and kidnap us when we are under the umbrella of the worldliness and finding our comfort, security there. मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है इधर, मैं यही रहता हूँ. Under the umbrella worldliness. When we say this to Guru, नहीं 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 नहीं, तुमको इधर आना ही पड़ेगा, otherwise This way, he cannot kidnap us or blackmail us. He will not. No guru does it. Same way, when we find our comfort, security here, even Bhagwan, again who is the holder of the spiritual umbrella, he says, भाई तुमको बनाया भेजा दिमाग दिया फ्रीडम दिया उसके बाद I can't interfere. I will not force you. But I am available. The Shastra, the Guru, the Lord, the spirituality, giver of moksha, all are always available. That umbrella is ready. The umbrella ka ho, the bench ka ho, your tent ka ho, your kamra ka ho, anything securing thing, giver of moksha. नाम कुछ भी दो, but idea clearly पकड़ना है. So this first thing we have to understand that it is we have to shift ourselves from under the umbrella of worldliness to the umbrella of the spiritual. It is we only, isn't it? Like in every of the fields. And the child will have to shift his attention from being comfortable at home to going to the school. Then only the education given in the school he can receive. So to the college, etc. Same way, from non-performer, irresponsible to a responsibility duty oriented umbrella called as going to an office or company for the job. The youngster has to choose. If he doesn't choose, that job will not come to take him there. उनको करना पड़ता है अब घर छोड़कर ऑफिस जाके काम करना नहीं तो नहीं. So too the girl when gets married from the parents' house, she will have to by her choice shift to in-laws house and consider it as her permanent house. If she doesn't do, then she will create very tension because her mind is always with parents, never with the in-laws. Therefore, वो मजा नहीं आता फिर वो मैरिज जिंदगी का. Then first she will kidnap the husband, take him away from the parents. Thereafter, she will leave him also. She will go to her mother's place or be independent. So there's no maja in that marriage at all then. Like any examples in the world. So it is we who have to shift ourselves from this umbrella to this one. Our choice it is and our effort and it's our achievement. Again, if we are not alert from this spiritual, again we come back here also, even if we are spiritual for some time, inadvertently. We don't even become aware, like most of the food. We are not much aware that what we are eating and what is its effect on our sharira and mana and prana. खाते जाते बस. Health, age, nature of our work chosen, we don't consider them. That when the age is changing, when the health is not so good, when I have become spiritual, I must change the food. I must change my other things. That thinking we don't do, therefore inadvertently we do mistakes by which health is spoiled. From the good health to the bad. In the same way, even though we are by the earlier janmas punya, some our own effort also, though we are in spiritual, but sometimes we become non-alert, inadvertent. We may go again back under the umbrella of the worldliness. A danger to हमेशा है. This is second point. But the first one was, it is we have to shift from this to this. Then how to do? How to do is what? Ki under whatever the worldliness umbrella we are, somehow we have to discover within us that we can be without them. We can be without them, isn't it? Because we can't be without them is the deep idea because of which we are with them. Think about it. How to catch that point? How to get that conviction within that these things under the umbrella of samsara or worldliness am involving. Are they so necessary? Are they so compulsory? Can I do away with them? If that can be done, and not a difficult thing, like under the umbrella of samsara, worldliness, million things are there. But are we caught up in everything? Not now. Like people, there are 140 crores of people. So I'm not caught up or bound by anyone with raga dvesha. Not everyone, sorry. So if I'm not bound by those many, these 5, 10 with whomever I am attached to are ours. From that also I can come out. So too, how many objects are there? I am not bound by all objects. Therefore, these objects which I am bound to, I can free myself from them also. So too, so many activities, so many programs, so many involvements, so many indulgences fully spread in this world. We are not bound by all of them. If we are not bound by all of them, these few things in whichever I am involving and wasting my time, involving and spoiling my mind and intellect, losing my information as well as inspiration of spiritual sadhana, I can be without them. ये वाला सोच थोड़ा करने से शायद that clarity may come that I can be without that. And this is a great achievement. I can be without them. Then only the next one. Not only I can be without them, but they are only the destroyers. They are only the distractors. They are the never required things. लेकिन दिस कॉल्ड सेकंड लेवल ऑफ दोष दृष्टि और प्रतिपक्ष भावना. ये क्या करता है? दोबारा इधर फंसने से हमको बचाता. बिकॉज इन स्पिरिचुअलिटी everything is starts with enchantment, but enchantment will not be all the time there. Like the Indians, oh, how much they are fascinated and enchanted to stay in America, go there. It is only external. और कुछ दिन रहने के बाद फिर वहां भी बोर लगने लगता है. You are like in a jail, isn't it? You won't feel comfortable there. In the same way, the foreigners or Indians, NRIs, they stay there, America वगैरह 10 साल 5 साल. They never come to India in between 5 years. Suddenly एक बार आते हैं, then they spend 2 months. They go to all places and they feel so enchanted. मेरा भारत महान, मैं मूर्ख हूँ, क्यों मैं जाके अमेरिका में सेटल हो गया, मेरे को इधर ही आना है. He will have all these thoughts. And 6 months when he stays, for example, again he gets bored because it's a temporary outer things. Again, how much ever great spiritual pilgrims we may go, after 5, 6 months, you get bored. How much our beautiful Indian cultural lands or the landscapes or the natural scenes like that of Leh Ladakh jao, Arunachal Pradesh jao, Kerala, Malabar jao, wherever you go, after a few months, तो you get bored. So anything external, superficial enchantment cannot stay long. है ना? Therefore, from within only we have to have the conviction. Positive also, negative. We are talking here negative. That through the dosha drushti, that these are the ones which were binding you from eternally. Come what may, I will not enter into them. This is a second thought to come out of the umbrella of the worldliness. First one is, I can be without them. How you have to think? Two ideas we gave. Second is what? Not only I can be without them, but not only they are not necessary, but they are even troubles, they are a problem, they are liability. ये बढ़िया है अगर हम सीखे तो ये बात को. इसके कारण ही मैं दुखी हो रहा था. इसके बिना मैं रह सकता हूँ और इसके कारण ही मुझे दुख हो रहा था. When you realize it, no, again we will not go there. It is with any of the small little consumable object also, or the company of the people also. When we know that we can be without it, When we also know that that was the cause of dukkha, again we will not go there. That we have to achieve. क्योंकि एक बार छोड़ा तो वापस नहीं आना चाहिए. One point here, or second point. Third one क्या है फिर? Then the spiritual umbrella. There also same things we have to do. Here क्या था? I was in attitude of I can't be without them. Now I realize that I can be without them. Here also we have to do the other way around. That I have to be with them. That idea we have to realize here. I can be with them first. I can be spiritual. I can be under spiritual umbrella. That we have to recognize. That also same. When I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. So I can do the spiritual also. यहाँ जो हमने कहा उसके बिना मैं रह सकता था, इसके बिना तो मैं इसके बिना भी रह सकता हूँ. तो यहाँ भी मैं वो कर पा रहा हूँ, ये कर पा रहा हूँ, तो ये भी कर पाऊंगा, है ना. That is what Vasishtha ji is teaching to us in the evening class. How beautiful those 4 chapters. The lucky ones, those who are attending evening that class, how much he is giving us the most essential thing of पौरुष प्रयत्न. मैं तो कहता हूँ एक एक श्लोक का कोई आप कीमत चुका नहीं सकते या बता नहीं सकते. The necessity of it, the necessity of the meaning of those shlokas for shifting somebody totally into an inspired initiative taking spiritual performer. ये बनाने के लिए जो फ्यूल हमको चाहिए, मैं कह रहा हूँ मुझे तो पर्सनली 30 साल के बाद अब मिल रहा है in Yoga Vasishtha. That is why that text, everybody is not fortunate to listen to it. Only few lucky. That initial, I'm enchanted, fascinated. Initial portion itself is so very good, important and inspiring. अब आगे जाकर वशिष्ठ जी आए, बढ़िया सा हमारा कल्याण करने वाले. मेरे को कोई डाउट नहीं है उसमें. तो that is the help for us in this understanding कि when I can do this, I can do this also. है ना? Like I can sit in front of TV, so I can sit in front of the God also. Isn't it? I can read the newspapers, I can study Shastra also. है ना? And I can take advice from this, that person. I can take advice from the Guru also. When I can think about the worldly things, beings, I can think about the divinity also. I can is a very essential thought in spirituality. I can. There I can be without them. Here I can be with them. Then the next one. I must be without them. Either dekha. Here also I must be with them. Slowly, spirituality may be. I can say it is a must. It is a necessary. To that mood we have to come in such a manner that we are not leaving it. जैसे कि इसको फिर से नहीं फंसना है. For that we have to find the dosha and the pratipaksha bhavana, so that we don't go there. So too, we have to find the beauty, the enchantment, the need, the necessity. So much in spirituality that we should feel it compulsory to be in that umbrella so that we don't come out of it. Example is our own classes. फॉर मी तो इतना घबराहट होता है, 1 हफ्ता अगर क्लास छोड़ दे, so with our mind or prarabdha or the outer world, where we get lost again into the world. Again to pull from that back to spirituality, so tough. Secondly, positively वो तो negative था. Positively क्या है? Is it not because of everyday touching the Shastra that there is a truth, there is a reality that has to be realized for the moksha? This thought is becoming stronger, which is for 1 in million only. All are so-called outer spiritual people. They are going to temple, they are doing this or that. बट वहाँ कोई भी मोक्ष का साधना नहीं है. All of that is comes under the category of upasana and punya, result of which is more comfortable life, not liberation. But what we are fed every day through our Upanishadic Vedantic classes, even though that feeding is very light, like the honey collected by the honeybee from the flower, quantity wise it may be very less, but very sacred it is. That we are getting convinced, we are getting inspired about realizing that self beyond all the upadhis. One in million only will get that thought. That the realization of the self is moksha, which is the highest. After that, doing sadhana and realizing. You are directly in the category of all the realized saints. May not become popular outside. All others are in the group of people who are going for temple darshan, who are going for the Kumbh Mela Snana. That is a whole herd of people. They are also spiritual, but not in the sense of seeking moksha. उनको पता where is moksha. How will one know? They are not doing it. Let us say every day 80,000, 1 lakh people go to Tirupati Balaji Darshan. How many of them study Shastra? In that way, in India, there must be 20,000, 30,000 temples. How many crores of people must be going every day? How many are doing studying Shastra? And without studying the Moksha Shastra, how do you know what is moksha, where is moksha? We are doing that most sacred work of touching or inspiring or strengthening our will and conviction for the Atma Jnana, which is the cause for moksha. Because, just because, only because we are studying Moksha Shastra. When I know the importance of it, value of it, then I will not leave studying them. Rather, I become more intense in studying. In this way, when we are wanting to come under the umbrella of spirituality, the two things that I can do them, second is it is a must for me. I know, like we were addicted to samsara earlier, we have to be addicted without the wrong meaning of that word addiction. We have to be addicted to the spirituality. That way, when we do it for a long time, then only all the obstacles of any magnanimity can be transcended, that we really visualize, apprehend, experience the truth reality called as moksha. It is we who have to come out of this umbrella. It is we who have to come under this umbrella. And we have to continue stay under this umbrella till we reach out where we have to reach. World is there, God is there, Guru is there, Shastras are there, Satsangas are there, Upadhis are there, faculties given, abilities. सब है, अब इनको यूज करना है. And of course, though we are listening from Vasishtha ji, we will be slowly tending ourselves towards that conviction only. And yet, one thought should be shared again is the troubles from the Upadhis. Okay, the trouble because of Prarabdha, it will continue. Just because we have intellectually understood and started doing sadhana, road need not be smooth depending on our prarabdha. Definitely. भगवान कहते हैं मेरे को एक प्रारब्ध नामक कुछ है ही नहीं कहते वो. He says only the praktana purushartha. But again he says, whenever we are doing the performance in the present, if you have failed, that means your past purushartha is more stronger. Understand it. Then intensify your present. These three things he says. He says present purushartha is important. There is nothing called as past. Again he says, sometime if you fail, understand that the past purushartha is stronger than this. Again he says, put the present purushartha so strongly that you are able to overcome the effect of past purushartha. सारे बताते, आज के क्लास में सारे टॉपिक आएंगे। द सिक्स्थ सर्ग वी आर स्टार्टिंग टुडे ना, दैव निराकरणम, उसमें सारा आएगा. So that also we have to keep in mind. And keep in mind in the sense what? With full zest, zeal, inspiration with which we wanted to do these prarabdha, these physiological body problems, these the outer people troubling us, which all we only brought, they may demoralize. They may remove our inspiration. क्योंकि कोई भी अच्छा काम कर रहे हो आप, कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ है तो इंस्पिरेशन लेवल कम होता है, वो कम होने नहीं देना. That is our another beauty. Then again, a higher intellectual person in the third level, what he does is two different compartments. One compartment of what the body is going through and what I have to do it for it, and that's not compromising my what sadhana I have to do maximum to the capacity. Two compartments. So too, my other worldly prarabdhas of things and beings, my spirituality. He is compartmentalizing them and not allowing this inevitability to disturb this spirituality, which is a tough thing. But one will have to that way have to come to that level. Otherwise, ये बार बार इसको ठोकता रहेगा स्पिरिचुअल साधना को कंपार्टमेंटलाइज करके कुछ भी हो मेरे उपाधियों को या प्रारब्ध जो मुझे करना साधना वो मैक्सिमम करूंगा. Otherwise, for the sake of this or because of this, ये छूट गया, then we are not doing पुरुषार्थ. हाँ, luckily if none of the things are troubling, health is very good, no problem. People are very good, no problem. Mind also luckily cooperating. So then fully engrossed in the sadhana. पूरा उसमें क्या लकी है कुछ लोग जो खुद ही बना लेते हैं. We have to बनाओ हमारा जिंदगी like that, at least for next life, that no inner and outer obstacles for my joyful spiritual sadhana and journey. मैंने खुद मंगाया मेरे लिए जो भी दिक्कतें हैं साधना के. अब मैं उन कोई चीज को ले नहीं जाऊंगा यहाँ से. एवरीथिंग आई लीव इट हियर. So how many things we have seen? We are under the umbrella of worldliness. There is another umbrella of spirituality. This umbrella of worldliness will not leave us. That umbrella of spirituality will not pull us. It is we have to come out of this. It is we have to go under that. And to come out of this, both the things can and must. I can come out of it, I must come out of it. Here also, I can do this and I must. Must वाला फिर से बोल रहा हूँ. In our heart, the necessity and compulsion of spiritual sadhana should become so much that हम कुछ भी छोड़ पा रहे हैं, but not our spirituality. Some of you have come to that level regarding our classes. That is a one which is blessing us, isn't it? Because of this thought that it is necessary. That we are able to leave the world also, we are able to leave our lazinesses, weaknesses also, and we are able to attend the class also, and we are able to refresh our knowledge. मुझे तो ये डेली होता है. मैं तो कंपलसरी बनाया ये चेक क्लास. कैसे भी हो तबीयत, कैसे वो अदर प्रॉब्लम, थोड़ा इधर उधर हो जाए लेकिन कंपलसरी. एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज हेल्पिंग. मैं उसको चलो कैजुअल बना दिया मानो, दैट कन्वीनियंट है तो करे नहीं तो नहीं. देन आई कांट डू दिस मेनी क्लासेस. एक एक छूट जाएगा वो. Isn't it? छूट तो जाएगा एक दिन when that terrible prarabdha of the health has to come. But till that time, when we are at the level of purushartha capacity, we have to try our best. It is necessary spiritual sadhana to be under spiritual umbrella. वो हमारे दिमाग में ऐसा घुसकर बैठना चाहिए that you are not living. Like some of you, morning or evening class. Before the class time, you may be engaged in something, some tea or coffee, or sitting in garden, maybe reading newspaper or talking to someone or on the phone or watching TV. But जैसा class का time होता है, don't you put off all of that and come. So that's the meaning is we made it necessary in our heart. That's why we are able to give it up. And those who couldn't make it necessary, then those million things are anyway there for them as alternatives. They are in that only. Denied of spiritual Shastra study and enhancing sadhana knowledge by themselves. Nobody else is there in our life as friend or enemy to push us into sadhana, to take us away from sadhana. ये खुद ही है. Okay. Now the last thought, just for 2 minutes only, or maybe 1 minute only, is what all these calls for a lot of, what do you say, intense intellection. All these calls for the intense intellection. मतलब दिमाग को तेज या तेज दिमाग को इन सब बातों को समझने के लिए यूज करना पड़ता है. If I am not using my intellect very intensely to think about all these things, I will not get the understanding first of all. If the understanding doesn't come, how can the conviction comes? And without the conviction, how can we leave the umbrella of that and come under the umbrella of this consistently, effectively, productively, sincerely, till we reach the goal? इसलिए मनुष्य का जिंदगी ना दिमाग का लड़ाई, चाहे जगत में सक्सेस होना हो, चाहे लोगों से सक्सेस होना हो, चाहे अपने आप को अंदर बैलेंस करने में सक्सेस होना हो, फाइनली फॉर द स्पिरिचुअल सक्सेस आल्सो. And empowering the intellect is the job of the Shastras. Strengthening the intellect is the job of the satsangs. And purpose of the Guru in our life also is that only. And that's what is he said in that Subhashitam. How many times we quoted that? Nahaste yashtimadaya devaha rakshanti sadhakam. The Devatas, Gurus never do the protection of the Bhakta or Shishya by holding a danda in the hand and throwing away or sending away the obstacles. How long they do? Then what is the way of their protecting us? Yam tu rakshitum icchanti, जिनको रक्षा करना चाहते हैं, what they do? Subudhya yojayanti tam. They put them in the subuddhi. Subuddhi means sushtu buddhi. They only empower their intellect with current complete information, which we have to convert into our knowledge and conviction. Whole Shastra. What is now? These 5 years of satsangas we have done. 4 years, 4 years. तो गुरु ने फिजिकली आके कुछ किया क्या हमको? भगवान ने फिजिकली आके कुछ किया क्या? No. What are they doing? Empowering our intellect. We have to also gathering the knowledge of Shastra, using it very intensely, deeply. We have to understand what not to do, what to do. In nobody's hand it is there. Like if I don't use my intellect very intensely and understand where am I going wrong, because of which I'm weak or lazy, how can I come out of them if I don't know? In the same way, if I don't intellectually inquire and discover what exactly I have to do for my sadhana, I will never do. How can I grow? And who else can do this for me? Nobody can do. That is why. And again, therefore, understanding the need of using the intellect intensely, therefore, again, back to square one. Ki, let us be away from all those things which make our intellects dull. Back to square one. Again, the mental desires, the intellectual, the sensuous pleasures, the bodily comforts, these are the ones which make our intellect dull. तो उससे बाहर आना. Then what makes our intellect sharper? Let us do that. Change of the diet, chanting of the Veda mantras, chanting of the Bhajana Kirtana, praying to the Lord, Medhaya Sprunotu, give me sharp and subtler intellect, O God, studying Shastra daily. There is no alternative for this great thing. And being regular to the class. These are the ways by which the intellect's sharpness, subtlety is maintained. And those are the things which you have to avoid also. उसको अवॉइड नहीं किया, ये कर रहे हैं, फिर भी फायदा नहीं होता। वो अवॉइड करना भी पड़ेगा, ये भी करना पड़ेगा, है ना। दैट विच मेक्स माई इंटेलेक्ट डल, आई हैव टू अवॉइड देम ऑल्सो. दैट विच मेक्स माई इंटेलेक्ट शार्पर, आई हैव टू डू दैट ऑल्सो. And whole life of human beings, evolution and devolution depends on sharpness of intellect, bluntness of intellect. जिसका बुद्धि सड़ गयो वो फिर नीचे गिर गयो, जिसका बुद्धि सटल सूक्ष्म है वो फिर आगे बढ़ेगा. That buddhi, finally it is buddhi only. That buddhi is empowered, buddhi is given a training to think, take right decisions in the satsanga, in the shastra, by the guru. है ना. Once, in fact, we know with our intellect correct, we can be free in this world. Guru knows. अब इसको समझा दिया, हमें आया समझ में, he will not do wrong now. Like the car driver, car driving teaching teacher. Once he is sure that this person who have come to learn is perfect in driving, now he will not go wrong, will not break traffic rules and all. He says, अब आप आ गए, हो गया आपको, I am certifying you, आप जा सकते हो, चला सकते हो. I am not required now to be next to you as a pillion. आप चला सकते. इसी तरह when the intellect is fully matured, equipped, then the guru says, now तुम्हारा हो गया, अब तुम जाओ, जहाँ भी जाओ, तुम करोगे साधना ही, फंसोगे नहीं. But till that time, we have to go on studying, go on listening. मुझे तो नया है वो चीज की, अभी इंडिपेंडेंट हो जाओ. I depend on Gurudev and the Shastra every day and the God. है कि नहीं. कितने जन्मों का कचरा लाए होंगे ना, वो सब साफ होने में टाइम लगता है. So today's thought is this today about shifting ourselves with our effort from this umbrella of the worldliness under into the umbrella of spirituality. Think about it. Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं. शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं. विदितानमया विशदैककला न च किञ्चन काञ्चनमस्ति गुरो. द्रुतमेव विदेहि कृपां सहजां भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणम्. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यमेकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषद्वेद्य ब्रह्मानुभूति मोक्षप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः मोक्षमार्गाणां शास्त्राणां भक्तिज्ञानयोगादिप्रक्रियाणां पुनरुत्थानजागरणविश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिकप्रगति संरक्षण पुरोभिवृद्धि एकता प्राप्त्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेमस्थैर्यादीनां द्वारा श्रद्धा भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा सर्वेषाम् अस्माकं सह धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आदिशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ओम नित्यानन्दं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्. अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः. ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 नारायण ओम अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः संबंध भाष्यम हाँ the topic under discussion is when the Puranas were quoted by the Guru that the examples of Jala Suryaka are given to talk about the Savishesha Brahman. Then a question asked by Purva Pakshi. Purva Pakshi क्या होता है ना, like in our व्यवहार also mind says ये करेंगे ये करेंगे. No, बुद्धि will have to think and discover and say नहीं वो करने से नुकसान. So to the mind says ये नहीं करेंगे नहीं करेंगे. It is a buddhi which has to discover and say no 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 करना पड़ेगा. In the same way, spiritual may be Purva Pakshi is the mind. Okay. Then the Siddhanti and his all quotes are the intellect. The mind tries not to do the sadhana. The intellect should convince. Finally, क्या है? Through that intellectual predominance and defeating the mind, we have to start doing what is to be done. Then the results come. है ना? Intellect is the only one which always, like what? कि देखो शास्त्र में ऐसा कहा. Intellect always should be following the Shastra. So that's why Shankara Bhagwan throughout he uses the quotations from the Shastras. तो लेकिन शास्त्र में ऐसा कहा वो ऐसा कहा, शास्त्र तो झूठ नहीं बोलता है, it is correct only. In this way, by giving value to intellect and intellect giving value to the Shastra, we have to defeat the mind. Mind is always अपने डाउट होता है, कन्फ्यूजन होता है, एरोगेंस होता है, जिद होता है, नहीं करूँगा होता है. लाइक द चाइल्ड इज लाइक द माइंड, वो नहीं पढ़ेगा, स्कूल नहीं जाएगा, होमवर्क नहीं करेगा, and you will not leave the cell phone or TV or play. No, it is a mind, mother and father are the intellect. They have to somehow negotiate that useless fellow कि उसको उससे विथड्रा करा के उससे पढ़ाई करवाना है. Exactly spirituality. Every day you see it at home आप सामने झेला है सारा. स्पिरिचुअलिटी में वही होता है. The Purva Pakshi named mind keeps on bringing some points by which it either says impossible or it says not necessary. चलेगा. No intellect have to say no, 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 it is possible and it is necessary. वो करना ही पड़ेगा. लगातार. Okay. So what was Purva Pakshi's doubt yesterday? He said this example doesn't fit. Surya is up above. There is a lot of distance between Surya and the Jala, and both are different from each other also. So there were these examples, Surya Pratibimba in the water, depending on the water's quality, whether it is muddy or it is shaky or big or small, the reflection of the sun. Understood. But how do you do the same with the Brahman and the Upadi? Because Brahman is all pervading, not limited in space like the sun. When he is all pervading, he is with those objects also where it is getting reflected. There is no gap at all in them. And how do you reconcile it? That is his question. Answer also we saw yesterday. Key example is given to drive some specific points only. Example and the thing for which example given is not 100% all the time same. If it is same, then you can't call it as example. लेकिन एक देशीय विषय हेतु ओनली वन पर्टिकुलर एस्पेक्ट बताने के लिए. लाइक द फादर टेलिंग द सन, सी दैट पड़ोसी तुम में से कितना अच्छी तरह तुमसे पढ़ रहा है. नो, इट्स ओनली वन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ पढ़ाई के लिए. द फादर टेल्स or compares his child with a neighbor child. He's studying so much than you. Not every aspect. Every aspect means in many other things, your own son may be better than that fellow. Or your son does very good cycling, that fellow doesn't know. Isn't it? Your son may do the swimming, usko bata nahi hai. In many things, your son may be better. But in this case, example is given only for that purpose of study. Our child cannot say, but Papa मैं उससे अच्छे बढ़िया साइकिलिंग करता. उसके लिए नहीं दिया एग्जाम्पल. The comparison with other fellow or the example not given for other purposes. Everywhere example has a particular purpose. उतना ही उसके बारे में सोचना, not more. So here you see, इति दृष्टांत बलेनापि निर्विशेषमेव ब्रह्म इति उपपाद्य अम्बुवाद अग्रहणात्. Vaya this example cannot fit to the thought which you are conveying. Iti. What is the objection by the Purvapakshi? Atmanaha amurtatvena. Atma is amurta, formless. And sarvagatatvena, it is everywhere, all pervading. Amurta means Surya has got a murti, a form, a light. So that is reflected in the mirror or water. But Parabrahman is having any form? No, how can he reflect? So he is taking the meaning of the word reflection so literally that अगर वही form है तो ही reflect होगा. But even in English language also we say no, the son of that man is reflecting the father's qualities. Here the meaning of the word reflection is not like a mirror and a thing in front. No? Sometimes you have to be careful about the meaning that is indicated through the words employed. Sometimes every time. So Atmanaha Amurtatvena. He says Atma ka murti nahi hai, form. Then how can it reflect? Second, Sarvagatatvena. It is all permeating. Sarvagat means sab mein wo hai. You say no, your Atma is without Rupa and it is everywhere there. तुम ही बोलते हो. Therefore, because of these two main reasons, Jala Suryadivat, like the Jala में सूर्य की तरह, Jala Suryadivat, मूर्त संभिन्न देश स्थितत्व अभावात्. In the example of Jala and Surya, Surya is Murta and then Surya and the Jala are Bhinna Deshiya. They are different place. So Surya is Murti and they are in different place. Atma has no Murti and it is there in everything. Then how do you give this Jala Surya example? Deshatvad Deshasthitatva Abhavat Dushtanta Darshantikayoho Sadrishyam Nasti. So the example which you are giving and through that what you want to convey, ये दोनों में सदृशता, commonality is not there. Because in the example, sun is Murta and he is far away from water. But you are giving this example for what? For Paramatma. Paramatma is no Murta and is not far away from anything because he is all pervading. Sarva Gata. He is there in everything. तो दृष्टांत दाष्टान्तिकयोः सादृश्यं नास्ति इति आशंक्य. Keeping that in mind, the Sutrakara, Brahma Sutra में, today or tomorrow we'll chant it. He says the answer is this: Vriddhi Hrasa Bhaktvam. Vriddhi Hrasa Bhaktvam means that example is given only to convey about the Vriddhi Hrasatva which never happens in the Atman but appears to be happening because of the Upadhi. Vriddhi means growth, Hrasa means reduction. परमात्मा में न बढ़ना है न घटना है. उपाधि के कारण परमात्मा बढ़ रहे घट रहे हैं ऐसा दिख रहे हैं. एंड मेनी अदर मॉडिफिकेशन आल्सो. बस दिख रहे हो नहीं हो रहे हैं एक्चुअली. वो टू कन्वे दैट पॉइंट दिस एग्जांपल इज टेकन. डोंट पुल इट टू ऑल अदर अननेसेसरी थिंग्स. एक्सप्लेनेशन इति न ही देखो दृष्टांत दार्ष्टान्तिकयोः विवक्षितांशम् उक्त्वा सर्वसारूप्यं केनचित् दर्शयितुं शक्यते. You know, anybody gives example to convey about anything, keeping one or two aspects only in mind, not that everything as it is told in the example is same like that the thing for which the example is given. I can nobody will say like ये तो चीता की तरह दौड़ता है. If you say no, that only one aspect of the speed of the cheetah is told. For example, you can't compare all of the thing कि चीता जंगल में रहता है ये भी जंगल में रहेगा. It will hunt and kill the animals and eat. He will also eat and he is very ferocious. चीता इतने तो नहीं है ना. 100% सदृशता नहीं होगा ना. है कि नहीं? If you say that his drishti is very sharp like an eagle, when you say the eagle looks from 3 kilometers distance also, so only one aspect of that is compared with this. You can't say no, therefore he also should fly in the sky. I give you the example of the child also. सादृश एक ही दो ही बात, बस सारे नहीं होते. Any example. That's what he said here. Drishtanta Dashtantika of both Drishtanta, example, Darshanta, for which the example is given. Vivakshita Amsham Uktva. Mainly one thing is only told. Sarvasaropyam kenachit darshaitum na shakyate. सर्वसारोप्यम के लिए नहीं होता वो. Isn't it? है ना. Like the Ooty looks like कुल्लू मनाली ऐसा कहा. अब थोड़ा ठंडगी में ऐसा होगा. कुल्लू मनाली also 50 degree 2 degree यहाँ भी. That only one aspect. But otherwise the mountains which are there यहाँ है, जो पेड़ वहाँ है, इधर है, खाने की जो वहाँ मिलते यहाँ, कहाँ सर्वसादृश्यम है. You cannot have सर्वसादृश्य. So therefore your the example given and the thing, they cannot be 100% same like that. Example is Surya Pratibimba in the Jala. And for which the example is given? Atma Pratibimba in the Upadhi. So सूर्य तुमने कहा रूप है, उनको रूप होने की जरूरत नहीं है. We are not talking that point at all. Surya is not Sarvagatatva, Atman is Sarvagatatva. Yeah, we know that, but that's not the point of discussion. Focus on the point for which the example is given. What is the point for which the example is given? बता रहे. What is it? कि सर्वसारोप फर्स्ट उससे पहले तो इज कंक्लूडिंग द अर्लियर थॉट कि सर्वसारोप्ये दृष्टांत दाष्टान्तिक भाव उच्छेद एव स्यात्. If 100% they are same in every aspect, you cannot call it as the example at all. It is absolute similarities. So when two things are similar, they can't be example to each other. Some similarities only must be there, not 100%. देखो दृष्टांत दार्ष्टान्तिक ऐसा कोई मेल उनके बीच में नहीं बनता if they are 100% same. Okay. Now what are the things to convey which these examples given? For which alone the example has to be held and not in other aspects. Thing is कि वृद्धि ह्रास भागत्वम अत्र विवक्षितम. Vivaksha means vaktum ichha. So to convey this point only, the Sutrakara has used this example. To convey what? Vruddhi hrasa bhaktvam. Vruddhi means development, hrasa means reduction. इन एस्पेक्ट्स को बताने के लिए व्हाट इज द एस्पेक्ट्स सी जलगत सूर्य प्रतिबिंबम एग्जाम्पल पहले एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं देन द पॉइंट अबाउट द सेल्फ विल बी एक्सप्लेन जलगत सूर्य प्रतिबिंबम है ना जलगत सूर्य द सूर्य हु इज इन द जला हु इज कॉल्ड एज प्रतिबिंबम जल वृद्धौ वर्धते. As I told you, know, when the water quantity goes on growing, the reflected sun also grows. Jala harasi cha. When the water quantity gets reduced, harasati, it also gets reduced. We all see, I told you example. The big balti में आप पानी लगाओ तो सूर्य प्रतिबिंब will be big size. But if you put a small tumbler and there is water in it, in that also सूर्य प्रतिबिंब is there, but it is small. स्पून में भी पानी ले लो उसमें भी रिफ्लेक्शन होगा बट और स्मॉल होता है. एक बूंद पानी रखो तुम आप एक बूंद पानी में भगवान सूर्य रिफ्लेक्ट होते हैं कि नहीं डेफिनेटली व्हाट इज द साइज ऑफ हिम not as big as the surya pratibimba in the big tumbler balti or any of the drum. So jala bada hai surya pratibimba bada दिख रहा है जल छोटा है तो सूर्य प्रतिबिंब छोटा. दैट्स व्हाट ही सेज कि जलगत सूर्य प्रतिबिंबम जल वृद्धो वर्धते जल ह्रासे च ह्रसति. इन द सेम वे जल चलने चलति. when the water is moving in that container the reflected sun also moves. जल then जल रुका रहता है तो reflection also stable. So to जल भेदे भिद्यते. जल भेद means when the water gets disturbed then the reflection also gets disturbed. Iti, in this way, evam. Evam, what is the actual thing conveyed? Jala dharma anuvidhayi bhavati. Jala dharma anuvidhayi bhavati. It just follows the dharmas of the jala. Kon. Be attentive. The reflected sun. And when the reflected sun is going through that, what is happening to the original sun? न तो परमार्थतः सूर्यस्य तत्त्वमस्ति है ना. For the Surya who is Paramartha Appabhav, there is no these things happening. What? That when the water is increasing, that Surya is increasing. When this water is reducing, that Surya is reducing. When this particular water is disturbed, the water is Surya is disturbed, then the water is stable, Surya is stable. Paramartha Surya में ये सब नहीं है. To convey this point, the example is given. रियल सूर्य एक है रिफ्लेक्टेड सूर्य एक है. रियल सूर्य को कुछ नहीं हो रहा रिफ्लेक्टेड सूर्य को ही हो रहा है. क्या हो रहा है जो पानी में हो रहा है उसका असर है ना. उपाधिगत जीवा इज गोइंग थ्रू मॉडिफिकेशंस नॉट द निरुपाधिक ब्रह्मन और आत्मा. टू कन्वे दिस पॉइंट द एग्जांपल इज गिवन. डोंट ब्रिंग दैट थिंग आत्मा का तो रूप नहीं है तो कैसे रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा और आत्मा तो सर्वगत है दूर है नहीं डिस्टर्ब नहीं है डिस्टेंस नहीं है बीच में. हाउ कैन इट रिफ्लेक्ट? दे आर नॉट द पॉइंट्स वी आर ब्रिंगिंग हियर. इन दोस पॉइंट्स यू आर राइट बट दैट्स नॉट द पर्पस फॉर व्हिच द एग्जांपल इज टेकन. तो इस तरह से एवं इन दिस वे परमार्थतः एब्सोल्युटली रियलिटी के दृष्टि से अविकृतम एक रूपम अपि सद ब्रह्म, द ब्रह्म इज सद्वस्तु, ब्रह्म इज विकार रहित, ब्रह्मन इज एक वन ओनली, yet still देहादि उपाधि अंतर्भावात, देहादि उपाधि अंतर्भावात, because it is expressing through the upadhis called as deha ityadi bhajate eva upadhi dharmano. Therefore it also appears to be having the dharmas of the upadhi. And what are they? Vruddhi hrasadini, the growth and reduction. Iti, in this way, vivakshita amsha pratipadanena. In this way, only this particular aspect our Sutrakara wanted to convey. Now we told this to you. Vivakshita amsha pratipadanena drishtanta dashtantikayoho samanjasyam. The samanjasata of the example and the thing which is conveyed through the example. Having said this, uktva darshana cha, देखो इसके लिए भी फिर दर्शन है, उपनिषदिक मंत्र है, ये बात भी कन्वे करने के लिए करके नाउ लॉट ऑफ quotations from Bradharanyaka, Shwethashwathara, Kata Shwethashwathara, Taittiriya, ityadi are given again to substantiate this point. So, very subtle point what is to be conveyed. Be attentive. The real Paramatma, Paramarthika is always intact. But when he is perceived or seen through the Upadhi, when you see the through Upadhi, it appears to be distorted. Like the outer sky or world, when you see, it is in its own color. But when you use the red or yellow or whatever the colored goggles, blue, so don't you see the blueness of the same world? But is that world in that blue or yellow color? No. But what are you seeing? The world only. How is it appearing? Yellow or blue? Why? Is that world is yellow or blue? No. Why? Because of the upadhi. The glasses which you are wearing. So too, if the glass is the magnifying glass, वो बड़ा है ऐसा दिखता है. If it is a convex glass or a concave wala, then you see through that mirror the different expressions of that Paramatma or the world, but the world has not changed. वो जैसा का वैसा ही हो. Like the mirror house, when you go, you are you. But depending on the mirror in front, the reflection appears to be different. But have you become many? No. In the same way, Paramatma remains as he is. Remember, Paramatma seen through Upadhi appears to be gathering the lakshanas of Upadhi. Actually, he never changed. He is Eka. What was the word used for him? Vandhutam. The word used are Paramarthata avikrutam ekarupam abhi sadbrahma. Brahman is Satswarupa, Paramatma is Ekam, and he is also avikruta vikara rahita. Like Surya, neither becomes big nor becomes small, nor gets disturbed, nor can be called as stable. Surya is in his own place, but the reflection को सारे होते हैं. What क्या होते हैं? जो हो रहे उपाधियों. So that reflected Paramatma is Jiva. तो जीव को वृद्धि ह्रास होते हैं according to उपाधि, but not to the real Paramatma. ये वाला main point है. To explain it again, lots of quotations are given. Then once the Brahmaveta rejects the Prapancha by saying as Mithya, he realizes the Brahma Tattva. How he visualizes the world thereafter, that will be the topic which we may take 1 or 2 days to discuss. अभी एक हफ्ता लगाओ इसको पूरा, एक या 4 दिन लगाओ. But we will be starting and will be definitely doing whole Shwethashwathara in our Chaturmasa Diksha. Shwethashwathara study and yoga darshan तो हो ही जाएगा जल्दी. And the evening class में all the Chaturmasa 4 texts लंबे चौड़े. Yoga darshanam, Shankara Granthavali, Skanda Puranam and Prasthanatraya Bhashya. मैं तो एक्साइटेड हूँ, करेंगे. And Prabhu Kripa ho कि health and everything should be fine, that nothing should distract us. Tomorrow we will see what are the quotations from the Upanishads Shankara Bhagavan will give to substantiate Vyasa Bhagavan's Sutra Darshanachya in the Brahma Sutra. मुझे अब आइडिया आ गया ब्रह्म सूत्र क्या होते हैं. आई एम कॉन्फिडेंट आई कैन टीच नाउ. आई वाज वेग अर्लियर क्या है तो ब्रह्म सूत्र नहीं पता. अब बैठा हो रहा है. एक अधिकरण होगा मीन्स वन ऑफ द contradictory things of the Upanishads, seeming contradictions in different Upanishads, or less clear thing or more confused thing, or the thing which needs to be more deeply explained. That thing is taken as theme, and that is called as Adhikaranam. And under that Adhikaranam, Sutrakara writes the Sutra to clarify the doubts or to give any of the more clear picture. And while giving it, Bhashyakara brings which are the Upanishadic mantras taken as reference under this Adhikarana for these sutras. इतना मेरे को समझ में आ गया. So Antaradhikaranam. So Antaradhikaranam means Anta Pravishya is the mantra. What do you mean by Anta Pravisha of the Upanishad? Which we have already seen in our Taittiriya Upanishad. Tatsushva Tadevanupravishad was a big discussion. We spent more than 15 days. Remember that. How do you say Paramatma Parvesh Karte as if he is not there? Big question was asked by Purva Pakshi. It was almost like the opposition party trying to command. जब गुरु महाराज ने जवाब दिया ठंडा पड़ गया. Like when the ruling party gives all the evidences and logics, then the opposition चिल्ला रहे थे चुप हो जाते. लोकसभा राज्यसभा देख रहे ना. They have no issues. Therefore, what they can do is threaten the people. Your constitution बदल जाएगा यार ये करके इनको वो करेंगे उनको करेंगे. और लोग इनमें बेवकूफ हैं. They don't know what is there in constitution. How many unconstitutional things are there in it? And these fellows know the art of blackmailing emotionally. And people get emotionally black. बेवकूफ. क्या तमाशा है ना जब देखते हो देश को. So to everywhere in the world. Here also, the पूर्व पक्षी कभी स्ट्रांग पॉइंट लाकर सोचता है कि मैं हरा दिया, मैं जीत गया. सत्य के सामने कुछ नहीं टिकता बाबा. So tomorrow we'll see दर्शनाथ सूत्र के लिए क्या कोटेशन शंकर भगवान देते हैं. Again to substantiate. Example is given to convey one point only. Don't pull the example and say that ये पूरे हर तरह समान नहीं होते. So therefore there is Nirvishesha Brahma, there is Savishesha. Our goal is Nirvishesha. We are now caught up at the Savishesha. And Savishesha changes according to Upadhi. And the Upadhis go through modification. We are divided with the Upadhi. We also feel we are having a modification. That is giving us dukkha. Actually, the Sukha Ananda Swarup Atma है कि दुखी है क्यों हम उपाधियों के कारण है. उपाधियां बदल रहे हम भी बदल रहे. तो instead of becoming an individual expressing through the upadhi, you be a self who is beyond upadhi, then none of the upadhi changes will touch you. No more samsara, no more dukkha. Evening class also, Atma Bodha, only that text we are studying. Tapancha yokoshadi yogena tattanmaya vastitaha shuddhatma nilavastradi yogena spatiko yatha. These are the shlokas we are even studying there. So anyway, this is how our intellect becomes well informed also, sharp also, subtle also, when we study Shastras like this, of which we just made a beginning now. When it has to go on, as we go on doing, our intellect also becomes sharper, like Puja Gurudev. How subtle and sharp is intellect to understand Shastra, do sadhana, experience and teaching us. He has gone through that vigorous exercise from many, many lives. You and I also, we go through, we reach to that level. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi or say that Aravindo or any of Vivekananda. वो कैसे पहुंचे उस स्थिति करते 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 तो वो लोग एक समय हमारे ही जहाँ थे जहाँ हम हैं अभी. We also continue, we reach to that level. Have this faith, definitely. And it is not to compare with anyone or compete with anyone. No, it is to realize the self and get moksha. Purpose is very clear. Om, 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 Om. Friends, there are millions of Mahatmas realized self, they don't come into picture. Those are in picture now, they are not there always in picture. They were not in the past, they'll not be in the future, presently now. And those are not in picture, sometime they come into limelight, depending on Ishvara Leela to guide the people. Therefore, all those ideas keep away. We need a guru, we need guidance, we need to realize self. This is more important. All other are intellectual discussions. They have answers, but there is no purpose of it. कोई प्रश्न का जवाब मिला, लेकिन उसका कोई फायदा ही नहीं है, हमारे जीवन से ताल्लुकात ही नहीं रखता हो या कोई साधना ही नहीं उसमें, उसका जरूरत नहीं एंटरटेन करना. So I'm just giving an idea. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Parabrahmane Parabrahmane Shruti MAATRE Tatsad Brahmarpanamastu. Those saints who were there 500 years back, they are not now. Those who are now will not be there 500 years back. But every year there is a saint, every time there are the sadhakas, every time that sadhaka should or will approach that guru, get the knowledge and do sadhana and realize. ये बात है. धन्यवाद. गुरुदेवा रक्षमां पाहि मां.